Are you planning to set up a manufacturing unit in India or planning to expand an existing one? If yes, then it's highly likely that you're going to import a lot of capital goods like equipments, machineries, and allied spare parts. And in the process of doing so, one of the biggest challenges that you're going to face is that for each and every such item of import, whether it's a big machinery or a small spare part, for each such item you'll have to separately determine the HSN code, the taxable value, the customs duty rate, the customs duty value, you'll have to file bill of entries accordingly, etc, etc, etc. Sounds like a lot of work? Trust me, it is. But fortunately for you, we have got a solution. Namaste friends, welcome to Rah. My name is Anmol Vadva and you're watching Broadly Speaking. And in today's video, we are going to be broadly speaking about a very interesting yet very less talked about scheme of the government called the Project Import Scheme. So without wasting any further time, let's kick in.
Interesting topic with little tweaking, finding all the answers that you are seeking. हर मुद्दे पे होगी मोटी मोटी बात मेरे यानी अनमोल के साथ only on Broadly Speaking.
Project Import Scheme or PIS is a concept unique to the Indian customs, wherein all the goods imported either for setting up a new industrial project or for substantial expansion of an existing industrial project are subjected to single classification, that is under Chapter 9801 of the Customs Tariff Act 1975, and are subjected to single rate of duty without individual merit assessment of each and every product separately. Wow! So, against the normal scenario, where you have to separately classify each and every such product under the customs tariff to determine its HSN code, and then basis that HSN code you'll have to separately determine the customs duty rate applicable for each such product, and basis that customs duty rate you'll have to determine the customs duty value, file bill of entries accordingly, which leads to delayed assessments and increased time and cost overruns. You have the option of one tariff, one rate of duty, leading to fast assessments, faster clearing of goods, and huge savings in time cost and other compliance expenses. Isn't that amazing, people? And we have not revealed the best part yet. The best part is that the single rate of duty that is going to be applicable on all the goods that you import as a part of the project under the PIS is going to be a reduced customs duty rate that will ensure you a customs duty saving of at least 2.5%. Further, as you know that imported goods are also subjected to GST, in this case, the GST rate applicable for all the goods that you're going to import under the project would be 18%. Yes, a single GST rate for all the goods that you import under the project, irrespective of what product you are importing under the Project Import Scheme as a part of the project. So similar benefits under GST also. So now let's address the next big question bothering the genius mind of yours. कि भाई, आखिर मैं मंगवा क्या सकता हूँ? Yes friends, let's have a look on the goods that are eligible to be imported under the PIS scheme. So the items allowed to be imported under the PIS scheme are machineries, any type of machineries, whether it be primary movers, any type of instruments, appliances, control gear, transmission equipment, etc, etc, all are allowed to be imported under the PIS scheme. Plus, in addition to that, you are also allowed to import any consumables, raw materials or spare parts which are essential for the maintenance of the project or the plant that you're going to set up. But, the value of that spare parts, consumables and raw materials cannot exceed 10% of the total value of machinery that you're going to import for that particular project. Which means that if you are importing machinery under the project, that is eligible machinery of let's say worth rupees 100, then you can avail the benefit of Project Import Scheme in relation to the spare part, consumables and raw materials all taken together for rupees 10 only, which is 10% of rupees 100. You can definitely import more of such raw material, consumable and spare parts, but the benefit of the Project Import Scheme will be limited to that threshold. Now we are clear that what Project Import Scheme is all about and what are the exciting benefits available under the said scheme. So at this point of time, let us move forward to our last question of the video, which is that how can we avail the benefit under this beautiful scheme? But also at this juncture, it is very important to mention that this particular scheme is available only for some specified projects which have been notified by the Government of India. However, don't worry, as over the years almost all the manufacturing projects have been covered with a few exceptions. But still, the point is that we will have to check whether your project gets covered under the scheme or not. And if it does, then the entire journey that an importer embarks on can be divided into 3 main stages. Let's discuss them one by one. Step 1 is obtaining a very important document from your sponsoring authority called as the Essentiality Certificate or a recommendatory letter. Now here's the deal. Actually, the regulations that deal with the project import scheme under the customs law are called the Project Import Regulations 1986. As per such regulations, any importer who wants to obtain the benefit under the PI scheme has to obtain a recommendatory letter or an essentiality certificate from its relevant sponsoring authority. Now the next question that comes into mind is, what is a sponsoring authority? So generally friends, sponsoring authority is the relevant ministry under which your project or your manufacturing unit falls, which definitely we can help you assign. Such sponsoring authority does a detailed analysis of your application, including the financial aspect, and provides you with the required recommendatory letter, which is the essentiality certificate, so that you can move forward with your application, which brings us to our step number 2, registering the project at the customs port. After we have received the Ashirwad of the relevant ministry or the sponsoring authority in the form of the essentiality certificate, we need to move forward to our step number 2, which is registering the project at the relevant custom port from where you want to clear your goods which you are importing for your manufacturing unit. For the purpose of such registration, we need to submit all the prescribed documents at the customs port, including the essentiality certificate in original, so that the customs authorities can move forward with the registration process. However, please note that for the purpose of such registration, you also have to file a list of goods, the goods that you're going to import, with details like description of goods, rate, duty, etc. But all those details should match word to word across your documents, like bill of entries, invoices, POs, etc. Very important point. It has to match, otherwise you'll face difficulties in clearance of goods. Once you're done with the clearance of goods, then comes step number 3, which is final assessment. An importer has to submit a statement with the customs authorities containing the details of the goods imported, along with the quantity and the value of the goods that have been imported. Please note that such statement has to be filed within 3 months from the date of the last consignment imported by the importer, basis which the custom authorities will assess and find if there is any pending duty at all, and if there is nothing, if all is fine and well, the customs authorities will make a final assessment order and release your bank guarantee and continuity bond, and you're good to go. So this is it for today's episode, guys. If you have any detailed queries, please hit us in the comments down below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. I'll meet you in the next video. Till that time, this is Anmol Bhardwaj signing off and saying goodbye and God bless.